Hey guys, welcome back to Lesson 5 in Unit 1. We're going to bypass the warm-up. As I've said before, warm-ups are typically when we do things live in the classroom. Alright, so our theme, our topic of today, you've actually gotten a little bit of exposure to it. It's called standard form of an equation of a line. So ax plus by equals c forms a straight line. On a previous lesson, I taught you guys how to graph using intercepts when you are in standard form, a very easy method. Today, I'm going to teach you how to turn equations into this form, and I'm going to teach you some details about being in this form. Now, the thing about standard form is, and by the way, when we say plus by equals c, b and c can be negatives. A would not be a negative. So let's make a note of that. A can't be a negative number. All right, I apologize for my sloppy handwriting using this stylus. Okay, so another rule about standard form is there can be no decimals. And there can be no fractions. So in the following examples, I'm going to teach you how to take these equations, which are actually in slope-intercept form, and I'm going to teach you how to convert them into standard form. Okay, so example 1, I want to put this in standard form. Look at that term on the right side, that 3/5 x term. That's not okay on the right side of the equal sign. I need to move it to the left. So I can easily move it to the left by subtracting 3/5 x. Okay, so it looks like it's getting closer to that ax plus by equals c. But we now have to worry about our rules. Our first rule says we're not allowed to have fractions. So how do I get rid of a fraction here? So look at your denominator of your fraction, 5. What you can do is easily multiply everything by 5. Even the 7, even that term on the right side of the equal sign gets multiplied by 5. Okay, so 5 times negative 3/5. So that would be negative 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 5 is 3x. Notice the fraction's gone now. And then plus 5y equals 35. Okay, another rule. It's very close to being in standard form, but there's one tiny rule that people tend to forget, and it's that a is not allowed to be negative. And here's a real simple solution. You just change the signs of everything. Everything. The 5y goes to negative 5y, 35 goes to negative 35. Real simple fix. Now it's in standard form. Okay, letter B. First thing we can do is... Actually, let me show you something. Actually, what you can... if you don't want to move the x term, the 1/4 x, to the left side of the equal sign right away, what you actually can do, you can get rid of the fraction right away if you want to. So, how do I do that? We want to multiply everything by what? Well, the denominator showing is 4, so multiply everything by 4. So that'll be 4y equals, what's 4 times 1/4? That would be 4 divided by 4 is 1x. And then minus 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now we can move the x term over to the left. We would subtract x. Remember, guys, when we move a whole term over to the other side of the equal sign, you're either adding or subtracting that term. In other words, when you move it over, please change its sign, okay? Going back to letter A. When we moved the 3/5 x to the left, it moved over to the left as a negative 3/5. In this problem, when we moved the x over to the left, it turned into a negative x, okay? Please be careful with your signs. Okay, is this in standard form yet? I would say no. A is a negative, not okay. So how do we get rid of it? We just change the signs of everything. Okay, next up, letter C, we have decimals. Well, let's start off. Let's get that 0.9x term to the left side right away. All right. We are not allowed to have decimals here. So how do I get rid of decimals? Now, 0.9, that's only one decimal place. 0.4, that's only one decimal place. So what can you multiply by to move one decimal place? You would multiply everything by 10. Okay, so on the left, that would be a negative. 0.9 times 10 is 9. So negative 9x plus 10 times y equals negative 0.4 times 10 is negative 4. Is it in standard form now? Very close, but not quite. The a is negative, so let's just change the signs of everything. Okay. Let's take a look at the next part, example 2. Write the equation of the line in standard form that passes through 4, 3 and 6, 2. So this kind of goes back to the lessons we've been learning so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the slope. We're going to use our point slope formula and then convert it to standard form. So let's get our slope first. So let's do some labeling here. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that'll be minus negative 1 over 2. Okay, so next step, you want to use point slope formula. So remember the point slope formula. So we're going to plug into that formula. So y minus y1 is 3 equals m parentheses x minus the x1. Now, we're going to take this in point slope form, and we're going to work our way. It's going to take a few steps. We're going to work our way to get it into standard form, ax plus by equals c. All right, so what can I do? Let's distribute, get rid of parentheses. Distribute negative 1/2, so negative 1/2 times x. And then negative 1/2 times negative 4 is positive. 1/2 of 4 is 2. Then we're going to add 3 to both sides. So y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. Now notice this guy's in slope-intercept form. I do want to keep going here. My goal of the problem is standard form. So let's move that x term over to the left side. So I'm going to move the negative 1/2 x to the left side of the equal sign, so change it to a positive. And almost standard form, but remember, standard form cannot have fractions. So what do we want to do? We want to multiply everything by 2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. So 1x plus 2y equals 10. There's my answer. Okay, let's try another one. So letter B, again, the directions are the same. We're going to write the equation of the line in standard form that passes through 0, 5 and 3, 6. So let's go through the exact same steps that I did in letter A. So my first step will be get the slope. So I'm going to start labeling. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that'll be 1 over 3. So what did I do next in the last problem? I went to the point slope formula. So y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So now I'm going to start converting this over into my standard form. I'm going to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So 1/3 times x, and then 1/3 times 0. I'm going to move that minus 5 over to the right. I'm going to add 5. Okay, so we're at slope-intercept form now. Let's keep going. Let's keep going to get it into standard form. I know it seems tedious, but once you guys get the practice in, this is really not bad at all. All right, what do I got to do next? Well, that x term cannot be on the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to move the 1/3 x to the left side as a negative 1/3 x. And then let's get rid of the fraction. So the denominator is 3, so we're going to multiply everything by 3. So 3 times negative 1/3 is negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1 plus 3y equals 3 times 5 is 15. So close. One final thing. A is not allowed to be negative, so remember our change. We just changed the signs of everything. So there's my standard form. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this here. This is a really long lesson. Too much to get into parallel and perpendicular lines. I actually like to split this up into 2 days. So at this point, we finished, kind of like the first half of lesson 5. So you guys are good to move on to your homework. The lesson 5 homework, you guys should be able to do 1, 2, and 3. You guys should be able to handle 4, 5, and 6, and then stop there. So you guys should be good on good to do page 23, 1 to 6.